Uh, Welcome back to Virgo. Hmm. And someone's finger is literally hovering over send right now. Subscribe because this contact is arriving faster than you think. There's communication crystallizing in this exact moment. Where someone has moved from contemplating reaching out to actively composing words intended for your eyes, where the internal debate about whether to contact you has resolved into decision to actually do it, where hesitation is surrendering to action that will bridge the distance between you through direct message or call that shatters whatever silence has existed. This isn't vague future possibility where maybe someday they might reach out. This isn't distant potential requiring patient waiting. Immediate manifestation, current formation, words being selected and typed and revised right now in real time as you're hearing this, fingers on keyboard constructing sentences designed to penetrate your awareness and demand your response. The gap between their intention and your notification is collapsing rapidly, measured in hours potentially rather than days, measured in moments rather than extended timeline. And the transformative impact on February, that reveals this isn't casual, hey, how are you, that you note and forget. This is catalytic communication that redirects the trajectory of your entire month, that creates before this message and after this message distinction in how you experience the next weeks, that introduces variable into February's equation that recalculates everything you thought this month would contain. In the compressed urgency of imminent contact, carrying substantial weight is less than hash zero. 5 hashes greater than you're being prepared for disruption of whatever flow you've settled into, being alerted that stability you might have been experiencing is about to encounter force that destabilizes in ways that could be thrilling or challenging depending on content and your receptivity. The communication arriving isn't background noise to your February plans. It's foreground event that reorganizes those plans around its arrival and implications. Let me illuminate what forces might be driving this urgent contact. In the psychology of someone finally pressing send after extensive internal wrestling, several drivers push people past their resistance into actual communication. Accumulated longing hits threshold where not reaching out becomes more painful than risking reaching out, where missing you becomes unbearable enough to override fear of rejection or awkwardness, where the ache of your absence finally exceeds the comfort of self protection through silence. Your circumstances might involve exactly this emotional tipping point. Someone has been missing you with increasing intensity. Someone has been thinking about you with escalating frequency. Someone has been carrying feelings that demand expression more forcefully than their pride demands concealment. The typing happening now is overflow, is pressure release, is dam breaking after holding back floodwaters of unexpressed emotion for duration that's reached its natural end. Watch your awareness for who has been occupying your thoughts lately without clear reason, who you've been randomly remembering, who you've been dreaming about, who keeps surfacing in your consciousness despite lack of recent contact. These mental appearances often signal someone thinking about you intensely enough that you pick up the energetic broadcast, that your system registers their attention before their message actually arrives, notifying you consciously of what you already knew subconsciously. Some imminent contact is confession driven. They've decided they can't continue without telling you how they feel. Can't persist in pretending their feelings are casual when feelings are actually profound. can't maintain facade of friendship when they want partnership, can't keep acting unaffected when they're deeply affected. The message being typed carries vulnerability they've been protecting but are now choosing to expose. You might receive exactly this kind of emotional revelation, someone breaking open their carefully maintained composure to admit attraction or love or desire that they've been concealing, someone taking enormous risk to shift your relationship from its current form to form they actually want, even though they can't guarantee you want the same thing. Their courage to send becomes your opportunity to respond authentically to reality you might have suspected but now have confirmed. Others stem from decision making that affects both people. They've reached clarity about wanting to commit or needing to end things. They've determined they're ready to try or certain they need to stop trying. They've concluded something definitive about your shared situation, and they're communicating that conclusion through this message. The typing reflects finalized internal process that now requires external expression. This reflection invites you to consider who in your relational landscape might be approaching communication threshold right now. Let me clarify what Change Your Whole February specifically indicates about magnitude. Change Your Whole February means the message doesn't just occupy one day's attention before life returns to previous normal. It creates ripple effects that extend throughout the remaining weeks of this month. It introduces new element that affects your emotional state, your decisions, your focus, your plans in sustained way rather than momentary way. The communication becomes defining feature of your February experience in the scope of impact that qualifies as month changing. Several possibilities exist. The message could propose something requiring decision that consumes your mental energy for weeks, could reveal information that recontextualizes everything you thought you understood, requiring extensive processing, could present opportunity demanding preparation that fills your remaining February days, could express feelings that reignite your own feelings, creating internal experience completely different from what you were having before the message arrived. It's essential you prepare yourself for actual disruption rather than minor variation. In otherwise stable month, the message coming isn't going to be easy to absorb and file away. It's going to demand engagement, demand response, demand that you reconsider or recalibrate or reorganize something about how you've been operating. Your flexibility in adapting to unexpected influence determines how smoothly you navigate the change versus how much the change overwhelms you. Some month changing messages are invitations requiring immediate commitment, someone asking you to travel with them, someone proposing you relocate, someone requesting you commit to relationship, someone extending opportunity with short window for acceptance. These messages change your month because accepting means spending rest of February preparing for or executing on the commitment, while declining means spending rest of February processing the road not taken. You might face exactly this kind of decision point communication, where what they're proposing sounds incredible but also terrifying, where saying yes means dramatic shift in your plans, while saying no means potentially passing up something you'll wonder about forever. The message changes your February, either through the yes or through the no, either through the doing or through the processing of deliberately not doing. Others are revelations that shift your understanding, someone admitting they lied about something important, someone confessing feelings you didn't know existed, someone disclosing information that changes how you interpret past or present interactions. These messages change your month because you can't unknow what you now know, because the revelation requires reevaluating everything through new lens, because your relationship to the situation or person fundamentally transforms based on the information. This reflection invites you to consider, would month changing message feel more like gift or more like complication given your current life circumstances? Let me address what the angel number 1111 suggests about divine timing and alignment. The repeated ones carry spiritual significance across multiple traditions, indicating alignment, indicating new beginnings, indicating manifestation energy, indicating that thoughts are converting to reality with unusual speed and power. When 1111 appears in context of imminent communication, it suggests the message arriving is part of larger pattern, part of orchestration beyond just human whim, part of timing that's spiritually significant, even if you don't consciously understand the significance. In the intersection of mundane communication and mystical timing, you're experiencing a moment where someone's practical decision to send message aligns with energetic currents supporting exactly that communication at exactly this time. Their typing might feel like their choice, and it is, but it's also choice being influenced by forces that make choosing this particular action at this particular moment feel suddenly urgent and necessary in ways they might not fully comprehend. It's important you receive the message with awareness that it's arriving not just because sender decided to send, but because conditions aligned to make the sending happen now. The universe or fate or divine timing, whatever framework resonates, is using this human communication as a vehicle for shift that serves your evolution, even if the shift feels uncomfortable or unwanted initially. Trust that timing carries meaning. Trust that arrival of this message during this specific phase of your life isn't random coincidence. Some 1111 messages are confirmations of manifestation you've been calling in. You've been asking for clarity or closure or connection, and the message arriving delivers exactly what you've been requesting, even though you might not have consciously connected your asking to their sending. The alignment is universe responding to your desire through human instrument, willing to be that instrument even if unknowingly. You might discover the message addresses precisely what you've been contemplating or struggling with, answers question you've been carrying, provides exactly the catalyst you needed, even though you didn't specifically ask for this person to provide it. The synchronicity between your internal state and their external action suggests orchestration beyond surface appearances, suggests intelligence operating through circumstances to serve outcomes that mere human planning couldn't coordinate. Your openness to seeing the message as answer rather than just random contact allows you to receive the gift it might contain. Others are wake-up calls challenging you to pay attention, breaking you out of complacency or denial or avoidance, forcing you to address what you've been postponing addressing. These messages don't feel like gifts initially, they feel like disruptions, but the 1111 timing suggests the disruption serves purposes aligned with your highest good, even when highest good requires discomfort. This reflection invites you to consider, what have you been asking for or avoiding that imminent message might directly address? Let me speak to what you should do while waiting for this contact to materialize. Stay present rather than obsessively checking phone. Trust that when message arrives, you'll see it without needing to refresh constantly. Trust that call will come through, if it's call rather than text, without you needing to stare at screen. Your anxious monitoring doesn't make contact arrive faster. Often it makes the waiting more excruciating and leaves you depleted when message actually lands. In the wisdom of grounded anticipation, you acknowledge something significant is approaching while continuing to engage with your actual current reality. You don't put entire life on hold waiting for phone to ring or notification to pop. You stay active in your day while remaining peripherally aware that communication is incoming. This balanced approach prevents you from wasting hours in suspended animation while still allowing you to be receptive when the moment arrives. It's critical you clarify your own feelings and desires before their message arrives, demanding your response. If this is someone you have history with, examine whether you actually want reconnection or whether you're past that desire. If this is someone who could be making romantic approach, determine whether you're open to that or definitively not interested. Your advanced clarity about your own truth allows authentic response rather than reactive response when their communication forces you to engage. Some messages will align perfectly with what you want. They're reaching out because they miss you and you miss them too. They're confessing attraction, you reciprocate. They're proposing something you genuinely desire. In these cases, your preparation is simply being ready to say yes enthusiastically, being ready to receive the good when good arrives without immediately contaminating it with suspicion or fear. You might face exactly this kind of wanted contact, where what they're about to express matches what you've been feeling, where their reaching out feels like relief because it means you don't have to be the one taking the risk, where their message creates opportunity you've been hoping for but weren't sure would ever present itself. Your readiness to embrace rather than deflect determines whether the opportunity actualizes or gets lost to overthinking. Others won't align with your current desires. They want something you don't want. They're proposing reconnection you've outgrown. They're expressing feelings you don't share. In these cases, your preparation is being ready with kind but clear declination, being ready to honor them and yourself simultaneously through honest response that doesn't leave false hope while also doesn't unnecessarily wound. This reflection invites you to consider, if you had to guess who's about to contact you and what they're about to say, what would your intuition suggest? The phone is about to ring. Contact is imminent, not distant. They are typing a message. Words are being composed right now in real time that will change your whole February. Impact extends throughout remaining weeks, not just momentary acknowledgement. 1111. Divine timing and spiritual alignment confirm significance beyond surface randomness. Someone is moving from intention to action, from contemplation to communication, from internal wrestling to external expression that will arrive in your awareness very soon. And your preparation is clearing space internally to receive whatever arrives, examining your authentic feelings in advance. So response comes from truth, not reactivity, maintaining groundedness while staying open to disruption, trusting that timing of arrival carries meaning, even if meaning isn't immediately apparent. Their message creates opportunity. Your response determines outcome. Your consciousness about the exchange determines whether it serves your evolution or just creates noise. May you receive the contact with presence. May you respond from your authentic center. May you trust the timing as divinely orchestrated. May you allow February to transform in ways that serve you. The typing is happening now. The sending approaches rapidly. Your notification arrives imminently. February shifts when you read it. Remember this: unexpected contact can be gift or burden depending on how you engage with it. Message changing your month can improve everything or complicate everything based on your response and receptivity. Stay grounded in who you are. Stay clear about what you want. Stay brave enough to respond honestly, whatever honesty requires. The message finds you. How you meet the message determines what it becomes in your life. They're about to press send. You're about to receive. February transforms. Trust yourself through it.